Welcome to the ultimate palette declutter. I am promising you now, before I actually do this declutter, I am going to get rid of most of my palette collection, and I really mean most. I do not use, like there are a few palettes that I love that I'll reach for, and even still, there's only a few shades in it that I use. I know the way that I use eyeshadow, and so I think it's just time. I do a lot of declutters, and I have over the years. It's something I kind of enjoy, considering my job is trying out makeup, sharing it with you guys. It's just part of the job, but there's always that breaking point in a collection where you're like, okay, this is too much, and I literally don't reach in that drawer. Like, I'm gonna show it to you now. I do not reach in this drawer, ever. So we're gonna go through everything that I currently have, what I'm gonna keep. So I'm gonna be sharing my tippy top favorites in my palette collection and everything I'm getting rid of. You guys know the drill. If I'm getting rid of it, it doesn't mean I don't like it, and I'll say that in the video too, but it just means I'm not reaching for it. You know what I mean? It could still be amazing quality, I just don't use it. So if you are into declutters, I will link my decluttering playlist. Let's dive in. For reference, this is what we're working with. All right, laying out, whoops, the all-important towel here to protect the carpet. So many. I don't even think it all fit on screen, but there we go. I do have at least one, maybe two at the workspace as well, where I typically film. So, but oh my gosh. I figure I'll start with my favorite products, the ones I know without a second thought I'm keeping. This is like my #1 most used palette. It's the Anastasia Soft Glam 2. It's one of the smaller palettes. I use most of the shades in this. It's high quality. I absolutely love it. So that, if I were to honestly just keep one palette, it'd probably be this one. Another one, however, that I absolutely adore is the Pillow Talk Quad from Charlotte Tilbury. It is very much just like an everyday low-key eyeshadow look, but I reach for it a lot. I have for years. This is my second one of these, so we'll definitely keep that too. And this is one I think that's discontinued from Bare Minerals. It is the Gen Nude Neutral. This was my favorite palette for years and still is. These shimmers right here are like, especially this one, I just would wear all over my lid, blend with those, liner with those. Like, it was everything I could need. This has traveled with me. Again, this is the second one of these I've had as well. If you can still get it, it might be like on QVC or HSN. I think that's where I got it, and it was really cheap. So I'll see if I can find this link somewhere, but I loved this so much. And like, the way that I feel about those is how I want to feel about the bit that I'm keeping. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. The Sweet Peach palette from Too Faced is one of the few I just love and have used, again, for years. Some of these shimmers are just go-tos. The smell makes me so happy. I've got happy memories tied to this. So it's just one of those palettes that I will keep and I actually use, and it just smells incredible. Okay, a lot of these smaller ColourPop palettes can go. They are great quality, but I just don't reach for them as much anymore. Going Coconuts is such a good palette, but again, I'm not finding myself reach for it. The Set in Stone was really nice too. I just don't really reach for it. 1111 I bought more recently, so I want to actually utilize. It looks really, really pretty, right up my alley. So this is one that's newer I actually want to try to use. I keep this one because it's Charlotte Tilbury and it's so nice, but I just don't use it. I would rather pass this on to someone that will actually be excited and use it. And I think it's decent quality. The shimmers are not like the ultimate, but it's still really good, but I just don't reach for it. This one is a little more pink than I typically go, so I'm gonna pass this on. Got all of these Makeup by Mario ones. Let's see. Oh my, see, I had completely forgotten I even had this. This is that Ethereal Eyes palette I want to use, completely forgot, got lost in this shuffle. So definitely going to keep that one. I think this is the Master Mattes, which is also really good. And honestly, I think it is the only matte palette I have. So I think I'm gonna keep that one just to have the different options. But then this one can go. I've never really been a huge fan of the quads. I don't know that I've never really found a colorway that I just loved. You know what I mean? These are good. I just don't know that I need to keep them. I'm not reaching for them very much, but I do think they're really good quality. The Nudes of New York from Maybelline, I really enjoyed for a while. And then the CoverGirl True Naked palettes I think are pretty good, but again, just not reaching for. So I have all of these like Wet n Wild ones. Okay, and then these. Between Always Naked and Always Blushin', I definitely utilize Always Naked more. So Always Blushin' can go. This one of these shadows just shattered. I honestly just need to like empty it out. This is a really good palette though. Let me try to open it without making a mess. The shimmers are really nice, but the problem is there are these few colors that are just so chunky glittery. And of course that's what kind of shattered, but the rest of it is really, really good quality. So I'm gonna maybe this one over to the side. This is where I get torn. Oh, see, I have two walking on eggshells and didn't even realize it. Oh, Jessie. Well, I'm definitely gonna get rid of one of them. Gosh, like look at that. I think I'm gonna keep this, but see, I don't really need both of these because these are both so similar. Honestly, I think I'll keep walking on eggshells and get rid of this one. Milani Luminoso is just okay. I didn't think this quality was great, so I'm gonna pass that on. Same goes for this Physicians Formula one. Not great quality, I don't think. Let's kind of move some stuff in here. The Revlon Color Stay Day to Night was just okay. It's just such an interesting formula, I should say. It's very different. That is pretty though, hold on. Almost feels cream to powder. I just don't know that I need it. This Smashbox Trio I have not reached for. It's a trio in Showmance. It's got like a really pretty olive green, but I just don't reach for it. This Flower Beauty one is just super old. Speaking of old, these Essence palettes have gotten pretty old. These are great though, bang for your buck. I think the quality is fantastic. This one is a really good one. Nothing But Nude. And honestly, if I were to keep any of them, it'd probably be Nothing But Nude. Just probably needs to go in the trash. It's pretty old. This is another one I really like, the Natasha Denona Mini Starlet palette. This is one I actually reach for because I use all of the colors in it, and I'm definitely realized that pattern in myself. If I don't use most of it, I don't reach for it typically. So definitely gonna keep that one. Milani Gilded Mini, decent quality, but again, I just don't need it. And also these are a little bit darker and cooler than I typically go. This is the Call Me Old Fashioned one. Love the name of that. Okay, I do have two of these. One of these is newer to me, and I bought it because I just thought it was so interesting. It's this quad of 4 mattes, but they're all really similar tones. But if you have fairer skin like I do, this is kind of a great little like blending palette. So it was kind of unique, I guess is my point. And then this is that other one that was in Just a Girl. I think I'm gonna keep both of those. I'm gonna be torn about a lot of these, I can tell you. I'm gonna pass on this Essence Mickey one. I honestly, the colors, I thought looked a little different online when I ordered it versus in person. I use a couple of them and the quality's fine, but I'm just not using it. This is one that I loved when I used. It's got these purples, which is really pretty. I'm gonna put that in the maybe. This one can go, even though I do think it's great, the NYX Ultimate Neutrals. Now I'm like thinking of an Instagram reel I want to film. So I might keep this for that, just to mention that it is really good, but I don't need to keep it because I have way too much, you know what I mean? This one can go, Physicians Formula. Again, it's okay, not great. I don't think Physicians Formula is like known for their eyeshadows, you know? The Ulta Everyday Faves was such a good neutral palette. This reminds me a lot of the Stila ones. Remember those that used to look like, maybe they still exist. This one is great, so I'm gonna keep that. What is this one? Oh, this is the one that's all like shimmer toppers. Hold on. Might be saving that for a dupes video. I'm gonna have to test those out. This one I want to give like a last month warning. Tom Ford, I got burned again, bought it thinking, okay, what's wrong with me? Why do I not think these are great for the price point? And this just feels so mediocre. So I'm gonna try it again for like one more month. I'm gonna put it in my vanity, and if I don't use it, or if I do use it and don't like it, then I'm gonna pass it on. Got these NARS little palettes. I tend to like NARS' eyeshadow formula. This is their Suede palette. It's pretty old. I should probably get rid of it, but I loved this one for so long. But ooh, it's pretty old. This one is newer. It's their Laguna eyeshadow quad. I don't even know if this was limited edition or what, but again, it's one I really like because it's colors I use. So let me put that in the maybe. This is one I just shouldn't have bought. I knew I would only use a few colors from this, and while I think the quality is incredible, I just do not reach for this, you know? Let me put that in the maybe as well. I'm like tempted to keep some that have some color. I love the e.l.f. New Classics palette, but it is super old. I would think about repurchasing in the future because I genuinely use this a lot. It's such a great one. Patrick Ta, this one is so pretty. I want to keep. Still, I feel like that one is still newer to me. This one I've never been more disappointed in. MAC eyeshadows can be really good, but sometimes their pre-made ones are not. And I don't know what in the world the story is. This was their connecting color eyeshadow palette called Embedded in Burgundy. And this was the most blah formula I've ever tried. So I'm gonna pass that on. I have this Too Faced Cinnamon Swirl I really, really like as well. I love some of these mixing shades there. I think I'm gonna pass it on though, because I'm like, do I really need it? You know what I mean? I have so much that looks like that. Tartelette Juicy palette I've loved for a long time. I think I'm gonna keep this one. I'm gonna pass on. I keep thinking I will actually reach for it, and I never do. This, I don't even think it's still available. It's Summer Unrated palette. Lottie London, I thought this was pretty good. I just don't reach for it often. It's in the rose gold, but the formula is great. So if you needed some new eyeshadow, I would totally recommend this. This is one I've had for a very long time. I think it's time to get rid of. It was from a Kabuki doll, or I don't know what the collection was, but this one was really good quality, but it's super old. Speaking of super old, these are like my only remaining like single shadows from when that was like a big craze, but these are super old. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep them. They're feeling like that one's got glitter everywhere. I think I'm gonna pass it on. And by pass it on, I mean probably toss it. What do I do with my Tati Beauty palette? It is so fun. Like, that was so cool to be a part of that PR and all of that long ago. But I really don't utilize a lot of these colors, just knowing that most days I just wear no eyeshadow basically, or like maybe a shimmer. So I keep it often for nostalgia's sake, but I think it's time. We're getting there, and then I'm gonna do one more pass through because I think I can get rid of some more. By the way, the leggings I'm wearing, I know you guys can't see them. I just got them from Target recently, and they are a really, really close dupe to the Lululemon Align ones that I love. So much so that I ended up buying these same leggings in black. So I will link the exact ones below because Target sells a lot of leggings. These ones are incredible. And I love this kind of taupe color. Sidebar. Natasha, I need a nude palette. Honestly, I think I'm gonna get rid of. I have another one from Natasha Denona at work, the Glam palette, and I use that so much more. These, for whatever reason, I'm just not drawn to this palette. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I'm gonna get rid of this. I might offer that to one of my good friends I know would love that. The Dreamy Dozen palette from Lawless, I like, but it just feels just fine. Like, there's nothing, the formula is fine. But again, I've got so many other things I'd rather reach for than this, I feel like, so let me maybe it. This one's unique. I love, these are basically just topper shades. It's the Urban Decay Moondust quad, so it's got Space Cowboy. These are like this formula they've had for a long time, but they're basically just like these gorgeous, wet looking glitter toppers that you can tap on your existing eyeshadow look. I love it. Actually, I'm surprised at how much I love this, so I'm definitely gonna keep that. It's very unique. These are fun. I tried these out somewhat recently, but I just don't utilize this kind of shadow very often. They're kind of like these cream shadows. This has been around for a while. They're not terrible. They can look really pretty, but again, I just don't reach for it. These little e.l.f. bite-sized palettes I have loved for so long, but these are super old. So I think it might be time. Even my rose water, this one is like years and years old. So I'm gonna get rid of it / throw it away depending. But I would probably repurchase the rose water. These shades on my eyes look so pretty, I think. And yeah, I love that. This is so good, definitely keeping the CoverGirl Clean Color Quad. This one's in Dreamy Pink. I love this. It's such good quality, and I love the look it ends up giving my eyes. I have like hazel eyes, and I think these colors look nice. I love these M Cosmetic little palettes. Again, I love that they're smaller, but I have 4 of them, and I certainly do not need 4 of them. I'm gonna get rid of these 2. This one's the newer one in Saturn's Return. I just do not use those kinds of colors. And then this one is really pretty. It's in Da Vinci, but I don't reach for this one as much as these other ones. This has been my OG favorite. Look how old and like, oof. I've loved this, especially that color right there. Just all over the lid is so pretty. It's not coming across, but you know. So, gonna keep this for sure. This is the other one that's more neutral. I do like, but I don't know. I still don't feel like I reach for it often. So I think I'm gonna get rid of it. It's in Rodin. I do think it is gorgeous. If you were more neutral than this, I would get Rodin, but again, out of all, I'm not grabbing it. So these are these Natasha Denona ones. This one in Darling is a favorite, has been for years. Again, similar colors to that last one I just showed you. So I'm gonna keep this and get rid of this more like neutral one. I actually really like it, but it's called the Super Nudes. See, I'm torn because I like using this sometimes as like liner. Let me put in the maybe. So we're gonna look at our maybes now, LOL, and then look at what I'm keeping and decide if I really want to keep all of those. So here's the maybes. What do we think? I think I just do it. Goodbye. It's always how it goes, I know, but I need that like comfort of having my little purgatory or limbo, I should say. All right, so let's look at what I'm keeping. Some of this I'm keeping to the side that I think I'm gonna literally put in a container to do an Instagram reel about, but then pass on. So I'll show you what those will be here in a moment. This is supposedly what I'm keeping. Not bad, right? Like this is so much less. Like look at all I'm getting rid of here. Oh my goodness, right? Like this is pretty full. But I still think there are some in here that I really just don't need to keep. So I know I'm keeping for sure, like without a doubt. I think I'm gonna get rid of the 1111 palette. It's honestly, I don't even think I've swatched it, so I could pass it on brand new. I have a million palettes that are similar to this, you know, obviously. You know what, I have not reached for this much. I always think I want to have this like palette just for mattes, but I really don't reach for it. So I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna pass on this Give Beauty one in Just a Girl. I don't like swatching it. I don't love the tones. I mean, the tones are ones I typically like, but it's not exactly what I would go for. I want to actually use this, you know what I mean? And make sure I like it. So these two are kind of in limbo that I wanna make sure I'm liking. The Tartelette Juicy is kind of getting old and I'm seeing some like weirdness. I've had this for probably like 5 or 6 years. I might pass it on. Or well, that one I might need to just toss if it's old. And then this one I feel like I haven't even given the fair shot because I've had so much to work through. So I'm gonna get rid of Tartelette, keep Patrick Ta. These are in limbo. And then these, I will probably keep these two and get rid of these two, but I wanna film an Instagram reel on a certain subject. You can probably guess what. And I feel like I would probably talk about these 4 and then I could pass them on. So keep those kind of, limbo these, and then really all I'm keeping, like truly keeping for sure, are these. This is incredible. And again, I know for sure I have that Natasha Denona one at work, but out of all of that, we are keeping 11 palettes, kind of, give or take. I also forgot I have ones that I want to see if they are dupes, so I'm going to keep those, but then, you know, we'll see. Wow, this is an amazing feeling. So this is everything that I'm getting rid of. I just sent a picture of some of these to some friends to see, like, some of my nicer ones that aren't super old. I wanted to make sure none of them wanted to call dibs before I donate some of this. Some of it, like I said, will need to go in the trash based on age. But yeah, this is everything I'm getting rid of. Oh my God. So I just counted. I realized I didn't at the beginning. 66 palettes. I am keeping 11 for sure, maybe a handful more depending. I mean that I feel really good about that. So, and a lot of these were ones I've just been holding on to for so long because I do like, I love them, but now they've gotten really old. Using up an eyeshadow palette when you have even just a handful of eyeshadow palettes, using one up is pretty hard to do. So I feel good about kind of shedding some dead weight of old palettes that I wouldn't want to put on my eyes anyway, and maybe ones that aren't so old that I'm just not reaching for. So I hope this was either entertaining, enjoyable, however you felt about the video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you are into declutter videos, like I said, I'll link my playlist. If you're into just hanging out together, I do vlogs just about weekly, just going through life as a content creator. And then also, sorry, it is allergy season and I just finished like an epic sneezing fit like a minute ago. So now I just feel like, you know, just a certain type of way. But I also do, of course, makeup and beauty type videos, drugstore dupes videos, all that kind of stuff. I would love to have you stick around, check out some of my other videos if you're into it, subscribe if you enjoy them, and come say hey to me over on my Instagram. It's Jessica Braun over there. It's B-R-A-U-N. I'd love to come chat with you, and I will see you guys in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.